Hello everyone, and welcome back to Steins Gate. I'm G, and we are faced with a terrible, terrible decision. The choice between Mayuri and Kurisu. And finally, at long last, perhaps we will let Mayuri in on what's been happening and what we need to do. And so we have come to Komima. It's afternoon on the first day of Komima, and the crowds are finally beginning to thin out. Of course, the industry booths and cosplay area are still packed, but at least I don't have to wait in line to get in. I've been trying to get in touch with Mayuri for a while now, but she hasn't responded. I checked with Daru, but he hasn't seen her today either. Cosplay ends at 4 p.m. I focus on searching the cosplay area until then, but I still can't find her. Maybe she finished early and went home. I try calling her home. No luck. They haven't seen her since she left this morning. Where is she? I'm always afraid that she'll disappear the second I take my eyes off of her. It's been like that ever since she lost her grandmother. Maybe it's just my imagination. We've been so close for so long, I saw Mayuri at her weakest and most vulnerable. Maybe that has made me overprotective. But I don't care how other people see us. I just can't leave Mayuri alone. I step into the cemetery, the final resting place of Mayuri's beloved grandmother. When was the last time I came here? For about a year after Mayuri became my hostage, I'd periodically accompany her here. But I don't think I've been here since I entered high school, so it's been about 3 or 4 years. As I get closer to Mayuri's grandmother's grave, I begin to hear a voice. It's Mayuri. I'd recognize her voice anywhere. It sounds like she's talking to someone. I approach quietly. Hey, Granny. Mayuri is standing there, talking to the grave. What a relief, she hasn't disappeared. I decide to watch silently from a short distance away. I've been having scary dreams lately. For a second, I wonder if she's learned to commune with the dead. But no, she's just talking to herself. In my dreams, bad things keep happening to me. Like someone shoots me, or a car hits me, or I get run over by a train. What? Don't tell me. It's so real. It hurts so much and it feels so sad. I try to call for help and nothing comes out. Why do you think I'm having these dreams? Does she remember her deaths? All of them? Is she inheriting memories like I do? You know, they always end up the same way. Mayushi's crying and Ocarine comes to save me. Mayushi tries to say, "Thank you, Ocarine," but Ocarine can't hear my voice. He holds Mayushi and makes a very sad face like he's going to cry. But he never does, you know? I can tell he's forcing himself not to cry. Come to think of it, both Ferris and Rukuko remember their memories from before the past changed. I used to think that memories couldn't be shared between world lines. I used to think that I was the exception with reading Steiner. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe everyone has the same power and the only difference is how strong it is. Maybe reading Steiner is nothing special after all. That makes Mayushi even more sad. I try to say sorry, but he still can't hear. And that's when I wake up. Why am I having these dreams? I failed so many times to save her. I've watched her die again and again. Everything I've done has been to prevent that from happening. And yet, have the memories of those deaths been tormenting her as she sleeps? I bite my lip in frustration. I still have a terrible decision to make. Do I save Mayuri or do I save Kurisu? There's no perfect ending here. I can't save them both. It's one or the other. If I choose Kurisu, then Mayuri's dreams will become reality. I don't want Mayuri to feel any pain. Until now, I've thought only of saving her. That is my goal. But at the same time, I can't let Kurisu die. Again, my thoughts hit the same dead end. Mayuri hasn't noticed me yet. She's still staring at the sky, just as she was on the day I took her hostage. She's talking to her grandmother in heaven. Alright, we have a lot more lab members now, you know? There's Christian, Mocha-san. Yeah, Mocha-san, Ruka-kun, and Fairies-chan. There's also Suzu-san, but she moved away. That makes 8 of us. It's really amazing. On this world line, they all became lab mems. However, not a single one of them has sent an email. You know, it was just Ocarina and Mayushi at first. Back then, Ocarina seemed kind of bored most of the time.
But now he's having so much fun.
Is that how she sees it? Well, she's not wrong. She really does know me, doesn't she?
And that makes Mayushi happy too. It's so busy, but it's really exciting. Especially now that Christian is here. She's really smart, you know. She got a paper published in a famous magazine. Mayuri really admires her. She even made a time machine. Oh, but can't forget Ocarina and Daru-kun helped too.
The Mayuri falls silent. Her gaze becomes distant. She stands still and looks up to the sky. What could she be thinking?
But you know, sometimes I remember. Back when it was just the two of us. When Mayushi had only just become Ocarina's hostage. I'd go to the lab after school, but Ocarina wouldn't be there. So I'd tidy up the room and decorate it with cute things. Then Ocarina would finally show up a little later. Mayushi would say, "Welcome back!" But instead of saying, "I'm back," Ocarina would say, "Good work!" Like a big boss or something. Every day we'd spend a few hours just hanging out, doing nothing. And then we'd go home together. We didn't talk much, but it wasn't bad. We were just there, together, you know? We'd sit next to each other on the sofa, Ocarina would work on his big plans, and Mayushi would read manga or play games. And sometimes we'd have a snack together. It was so nice and relaxing. I never wanted to leave. I'd start feeling like a real hostage, and I'd laugh hey, 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 to myself. Then Ocarina would turn to me and say,
I remember. It was 4 months ago. Still spring. The lab wasn't as lively as it is now. It was an isolated bubble of slow-moving time. Did something good happen?
Yep. Well, not really, but kinda.
Ah, it must have been an illusion. We could be under attack from Illusion Conductor, one of the organization's feared agents.
Oh, gotta be careful then. But you know, I'm sure that Mr. Illusion Kid Hugger.
Conductor, not Kid Hugger.
I'm sure he's not a bad guy.
It was nothing, just meaningless chatter to pass the time.
I felt so happy there. So happy I could cry. I wanted to stay like that forever. But that doesn't mean I don't like how things are now, okay?
Mary shakes her head in denial. Finally, she stops looking up at the sky and bows her head instead.
You know, I haven't talked to Ocarina much lately. Maybe Mayushi's getting a little lonely.
It's true. I haven't had time to talk to her lately. But that's because I've been fighting to prevent her death. To keep her dreams from coming true. Also that Mayuri will keep smiling. I never again want to see her cry like she did on the day her grandmother died.
But you know, I don't want to be a burden to Ocarina.
That word again. Burden. I've never thought of her as a burden.
Maybe she's just one big nuisance, isn't she? Granny?
Mayuri lifts her face once more.
I can't stay like this forever, can I?
Of course you can!
Huh?
When I finally speak to Mayuri, she turns my way with a surprised expression. Her face is so soft, so innocent. Slowly, her lips curve into a smile.
It's Ocarina! Wow, how'd you know I was here?
I always know where my hostage is.
Hostage?
You cannot escape my grasp. Not ever.
Oh. But don't wear yourself out, okay? Maybe she's a little worried.
Hoping Kyoma is not so weak as to require your concern. When the time comes, I'll tell you everything.
Huh?
So stay with me until then, like you always have.
Okay.
Mayuri stands up and turns to the grave once more. As an offering, she leaves a brand new white lily, as well as some dango dumplings.
Let's head back, Ocarina.
Shouldn't we get some dango for ourselves first? Back when we used to visit the cemetery together, it was part of our daily routine to eat dango on the way back.
Of course!
Akiba is empty again today. The otaku have all made the exodus to Komima for the second day of battle. But come nightfall, they will return to Akiba like a victorious army laden with spoils, and the streets will be chaos. I know Daru has gone to Komima. The question is, has Mayuri? I hope she has. I want things to be normal again. I remember what I heard yesterday, the feelings Mayuri expressed at her grandmother's grave. The events of the last few weeks have affected her as well. After I escorted Mayuri home from the cemetery, I spent the whole night racking my brain for a third option, a way out of this mess. My thoughts were a jumble, ideas coming and going too fast to judge which were right and which were wrong. But of course, there isn't a right choice here. For in the end, it always comes back to the same question. Who do I let die? And no matter how I try to dance around it, the answer is always the same. I can't choose. Is there no one else who can make this decision? No, even if there were, I'd know I'd never accept their choice, whichever it happened to be. Once again, I'm heading for the roof of Radikan. I had to get out of the lab. Mayuri or Kurisu might return at any moment, and I can't face them now. I look up at the sky. The clouds are dark and heavy. It could start raining any minute now. Huh? I thought that I was alone, but someone was here before me. Kurisu was lying in the middle of the roof, arms and legs spread as if making a snow angel. The image of Kurisu in a pool of blood flashes through my mind. Is she alright? I run towards her, but before I make it halfway, she suddenly sits up and turns to face me.
Okabe.
You're alive. What a dumb thing to say. Fortunately, it looks like Kurisu didn't hear me. She's busy combing her disheveled hair with her fingers. I breathe a silent sigh of relief.
Right, I forgot I might run into you here.
What were you doing?
Thinking.
Oh. Was she thinking about her death? I don't know what to say, so I keep my mouth shut. Kurisu appears to be in the same boat. She's staring at the capsule toy dispenser in the corner, her face wearing the usual frown. The awkward silence drags on. When you think about it, Kurisu's fate rests in my hands. My decision will determine whether she lives or dies. Her fantastic hypothesis yesterday was a desperate attempt to construct a scenario where she doesn't die. Even if she believes that her theory is correct, it must be difficult for her to avoid imagining her own death. I force a smile. I'm getting really uncomfortable here. Looks like I'm in your way, so I'll just go.
Oh, okay.
Damn, I was expecting a sarcastic remark like, "Since when do mad scientists have manners?" or something. Just then, something cold lands on the tip of my nose. When I look up, raindrops start landing on my forehead. An evening shower. It's only going to get more intense, and quickly. Kurisu hasn't moved a muscle. She's just standing there with her arms folded, staring at the ground as if she doesn't notice the rain at all. Hey, it's raining.
Huh? Oh, yeah.
She's acting strange, like her mind is elsewhere. I knew it. She's been thinking about... Whoa! In less than a minute, the rain turns into a full downpour. We had no time to seek shelter.
What the hell?
Kurisu's scream is drowned out by the roar of the rain.
Whew, what a surprise.
That's what you get for tempting the sky gods. Now safely inside the building, we take a moment to catch our breath. It's been a week since Suzuha's time machine disappeared, but Radikan is still closed. The lights are off, and it's pretty dark inside.
You should have warned me sooner. Even my underwear's soaked.
Same here. I bet you're glad it's dark, huh?
What do you mean?
If the lights were on, I'd be able to see everything. Even in the dim light, I can tell that Kurisu is scrambling to cover her chest.
Ah, I forgot that you're a perv, too.
You're the one who announced that your underwear was wet.
Just drop it. If you're imagining what color my underwear is, I'll kill you.
I'm not imagining anything. He's too self-conscious. What? The color of her underwear, huh? Gotta be white. That was a terrible fake sneeze. I'm sorry. Cold?
I'm not stripping naked. If that's what you're suggesting. Your pervy tricks won't work on me.
Who said strip? Calm down, will you?
Ah.
But if you want to strip, go right ahead. I can't make out your scrawny figure in this light anyway.
Another world?
Word.
Another word and I'll make you eat your cerebral neocortex with ponzu sauce.
Wow, that was a difficult sentence, apparently. Sorry. Please spare me that horror. Still, these wisecracks are a welcome distraction.
A storm like that shouldn't last long. Guess we'll just wait it out.
I see Kurisu's shadowy form move to sit on the staircase. I sit next to her.
Hey, get your own stair. What?
You're the one who said not to speak.
You're too close. Don't come any closer, okay? You can stay where you are, but come any closer and I'll push you away, okay?
Our bodies gradually grow cold. We start shivering. Maybe I should take off my wet clothes. But if I do that, Kurisu will just call me a perv again. Better not. My eyes gradually adjust to the darkness. I can see Kurisu more clearly now. She's huddled up against the wall.
Don't look at me.
Impossible. How can you see where I'm looking? Does she have infravision? Infravision? What is that?
So you were looking.
Damn, she was leading question on me. That's such a high-level technique. I avert my eyes from Kurisu and take off my lab coat. That's when I notice my coat is torn at the shoulder. Damn, must have caught on something when we ran inside.
What are you talking about?
Just a little tear in my coat.
Is clumsiness one of your character traits?
Don't be ridiculous. I am a mad scientist. I bear the curse of insanity, not clumsiness. It seems like forever since I've talked to Kurisu as Ho in Kyoma.
Yeah.
Kurisu suddenly holds out her hand.
Give it here.
What?
I happen to have a sewing kit with me. I'll stitch it up for you.
A sewing kit? You?
Something wrong with that?
I hand over my coat as asked. You're an experiment-loving girl. You're not supposed to be domestic.
Can't I be a domestic experiment-loving girl?
You? Domestic?
Relatively, maybe. Well, actually, I don't know the domesticity index for Japanese high school girls these days.
There's an index for that? First I've heard of it. Kurisu skillfully threads the needle, despite the darkness.
It's wet, so it's kind of hard to thread.
Did you really just happen to have that on you?
Get over it already. Is it really so wrong for me to have a sewing kit?
It's not wrong, it just seems like you planned for this.
So you're saying I brought it with me because I somehow knew your coat was going to get ripped? Uh-huh. Ridiculous. And before you get the wrong idea, I'm not fixing your coat because I want to or anything, okay?
Nice tsundere line.
Don't mock me, you just happened to tear your clothes and I just happened to have a sewing kit handy when you did. It's coincidence, that's all.
Coincidence. Hey, you didn't time leap, did you?
So now you're saying that I went back in time for the sole purpose of preparing your stupid lab coat. Uh-huh. Ridiculous, ridiculous! There, it's so important that I said it twice. Comprende?
You're right, if you had time leaped, you would have brought a towel, not a sewing kit.
What's that, sarcasm? All you do is complain.
After working for a while, Kurisu cuts the string with her teeth, then hands me back my coat.
Here.
Thanks.
By the way, it was dark, so I couldn't really see. If it turns out bad, it's not my fault. It was dark, that's all. Oh, and I hope you like the color, because I have no idea which thread I used.
It's random?
Black, red, or pink. Those are the three possibilities.
Let's just hope it's not pink. I'm not gonna try to do a fake sneeze again. I'm not good at those. Cold?
I guess.
Take my coat.
But it's wet.
Well, yeah, but... Silence again. The words flow so naturally when it's just harmless banter, but 1 second of silence and suddenly we have nothing to say. It must be because of what happened yesterday. I'm so desperate to avoid the topic that nothing seems safe. I know I need to say something, but what?
Have you made your decision yet?
Her voice is barely a whisper, but I can hear her clearly in the silence of the empty stairwell. I look at Kurisu. She's hugging her knees to her chest, presumably against the cold. My decision. I know what she means. That's why I can't answer.
You still haven't made up your mind. You like Mayuri, don't you?
What? Where'd that come from? Kurisu keeps staring into the darkness.
It's probably just my imagination, but lately I've been seeing things, like a strange sort of deja vu. In these visions, you're fighting to save Mayuri all by yourself. You never give up, no matter how much it hurts.
Kurisu too?
Then you come to me for help. You're so desperate, so earnest that I just have to do what I can. Then not that I'm doing it for you, okay? I just want to save Mayuri, that's all. Anyway, these images are stuck in my head like memories.
So Kurisu's the same. She still has faint memories from previous world lines.
I tried self-analysis. Maybe I'm mistaking dreams for reality, projecting my hopes and fantasies. I don't know. But there's one thing I do know. You have to save Mayuri.
Aren't you afraid? To save Mayuri, I must undo the current world line. If I do that, Kurisu will die. You know... Oh, wait, nope.
You know, it kind of feels like we're trapped in an ancient ruin.
Kurisu suddenly changes the subject. She looks around the dark, empty stairwell.
Like the world ended. And we're the only two people left. I've been thinking. Say you go to the beta world line and everyone else goes with you. What if I can't go with you? What if I'm the only one left behind? Would the entire world become like this place? It's just a theory, but I can't help but wonder.
I need to say it. I'll save you. Not just Mayuri, but...
Don't make promises you can't keep!
Kurisu cuts me off sharply, then buries her face in her knees.
You asked me if I wasn't afraid. Of course I'm afraid. Maybe I'll disappear. Maybe I'll be left behind all alone. Or maybe only you will disappear and everything else will stay the same. The world will continue and nobody will even know that you existed. I'll go back to America as if nothing ever happened. Maybe. I feel hopeless just thinking about all the possibilities. But even so...
Kurisu raises her head and spears me with her glare.
Do you think I would tell you to let Mayuri die?
Kurisu.
Jesus, it's cold!
Kurisu grabs her own arms. In the darkness, I see her shoulders shaking.
It's because of these wet clothes. This sucks. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. It's nothing but conjecture. Baseless, worthless. I want to cut open my skull and excise the part of my brain that comes up with these delusions.
Now she's talking to herself in an angry tone. Kurisu has always been calm when faced with the unknown. I admired her for that. I thought she was facing this calmly too. But I was wrong. Behind her cool facade, she was struggling to cope with the knowledge that her very existence was in jeopardy. She was fighting that fear all alone, and it has finally come to the surface. Of course she's afraid. However brilliant she may be, she's still an 18-year-old girl. Kurisu abruptly stands up. I realize that I no longer hear the sound of rain pounding on the roof.
Listen, Okabe. You can't save both of us, correct? No matter how you struggle, it's one or the other.
But...
No buts. My answer won't change. Save Mayuri.
I hear the pain in her voice, and also the resolve. Kurisu has made up her mind. I look away and clench my fists. My nails dig into the palms of my hands. Are you telling me to give up? To abandon you? I could never do that.
You can and you must. There's no other way.
No, you're our friend. I won't abandon you.
Okabe!
Kurisu drops to her knees and grabs me by the collar. I gasp for breath as she stares into my eyes. Her eyes are hard and stern. It's always like this when she scolds me. Always the same glare.
Is there another solution? There isn't, is there? I don't want to live if it means sacrificing Mayuri. If you don't save her, I'll never forgive you.
Ugh. This can't be happening. I hate this choice with no right answer. I hate the universe for being so cruel. And most of all, I hate myself for forcing Kurisu to speak these words when she's the one with the most to lose. Tears well up in my eyes, but I bite my lip and hold them back. Is there really no other way? I can't bear it. I look straight back at Kurisu as she holds me by the collar. And tightly embrace her slender body. Her clothes are still wet from the rain. All I feel is warmth radiating from the core of her being. But you're right here! Why does it have to be this way?
Okabe.
Tension drains from her back and her hands. She gives her whole body to my embrace.
Thank you. I know you're hurting for me. But you've done enough. I'm fine, so just think about Mayuri, okay?
Despite her fear, Kurisu has made her choice. It's time for me to do the same. I need to decide here and now. The future of the world. Which friend to let die. Holding Kurisu tightly, I whisper into her ear. I'm sorry. A meaningless apology. I want to save Mayuri more than anything. These words are a death sentence, but I force myself to speak them. It takes every ounce of willpower I possess. I can't save you.
I know.
When I finish, I feel as if a great weight has left my shoulders, and at the same time, as if 1,000 needles are stabbing into my chest. My heart! God damn it. Kurisu weakly returns my embrace. Then she lets go and stands up.
Well then.
It's already a look of relief on her face.
I'm heading back.
Back? Where? To America?
The lab, of course. I need to dry my clothes. I want to take a shower too.
In that case, we should go back together. But before I can suggest it, Kurisu beats me to the punch as if she read my mind.
You stay here and soak for a while. Understand?
We can't go back together. That's her verdict. Understand. I hang my head and shut my eyes. Kurisu's footsteps fade into the distance. I wrap my arms around my body. Even though it's summer and sweltering hot, I can't stop my body from shaking. I realize that part of me is relieved that Kurisu left alone. At least I won't have to face her again. To look upon the face of the girl I chose to die. I'm a coward. My self-loathing echoes into the darkness. I wait about 2 hours before returning to the lab. Kurisu is already gone when I get there. But we have an email. Assistant. Oh no. See you. Cease to inquire what the future has in store, and take as a gift whatever the day brings forth. Horace, Italian philosopher. I'm going back to my hotel. Do what needs to be done. Good night. Christ! Oh, God. All she left is a single email. I sit down on the sofa. While drying my hair with a towel, I look towards the PC in the corner of the room. It's already connected to the IBM 5100, ready for Daru to start hacking. I already got in touch with him. The hacking starts tomorrow at noon. I drove myself even further into a corner by telling that to Daru. Now I can't turn back, no matter how much I want to. I chose Mayuri. I will let Kurisu die. Showering didn't soften the wrenching pain in my heart. In truth, I'm just riding on Kurisu's resolve. Mine is still a flimsy thing. I can't help but wonder, is this really okay? Really?
Anyone here?
Mayuri opens the door and enters. For a moment after she catches sight of me, she looks ready to burst into tears. But that quickly gives way to a smile.
It's okay!
What's up?
Oh, nothing. I just decided to stop by.
I swallow hard. Maybe I should explain the situation to Mayuri. But I know she'll feel guilty if I tell her. Mayuri doesn't need to know. Everything will be okay as long as we crack CERN's database and reach the Beta World Line.
You know, I haven't talked much with Ocarine lately. But you know, I don't want to be a burden on Ocarine.
Can I really let it end like this? Shouldn't I tell her what Kurisu was sacrificing for her sake?
Did you take a shower?
Mayuri moves behind the sofa, grabs the bath towel on my head, and starts rubbing my hair dry.
You smell good like shampoo.
I didn't mind the towel so much, but then she buries her nose into my hair and starts sniffing. Stop that! I jerk my head away. Mayuri goes back to drying my hair.
You know, I didn't go to Komima today.
Why?
I was thinking about Ocarine. When I got to Ariake, I remembered how sad you looked, and then I thought, I shouldn't be having fun at Komima. So I turned around and came all the way back.
Oh, sorry for making you worry. Should I tell her? Or should I keep her in the dark?
You know, I haven't talked much with Ocarine lately. Maybe Mayushi's getting a little lonely.
Mayuri, how would you feel if I said I was keeping a secret from you?
You mean like Ocarine and Christian are actually dating?
Where'd that come from?
Ocarine and Christian get along really well, right? I think you two are meant for each other.
No, it's nothing like that.
Oh, okay. You don't have to tell me everything if you don't want to. Besides, it's normal to keep secrets from your hostage.
This isn't the time for that! Mayuri's hand leaves my head. I look over my shoulder in a panic, thinking she wandered off again. She's there. I grab her hand, perhaps more forcefully than I meant to.
Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden.
Again.
So I'll wait until Ocarine's ready to tell me. Just like I said yesterday, remember?
And if I decide to never tell you?
Well, I'd be curious. Really curious. But if that's what you want.
Even if my secret involves you?
Mayushi?
I haven't told you because I don't want to hurt you.
Is that why Ocarine looks so sad all the time? Then I do want to know. I don't like it when Ocarine's sad.
Even if it means you might get hurt? Mayuri replies. With a gentle smile.
Yeah.
She nods without any hesitation. Her smile is so sincere, it strikes me speechless.
Mayushi doesn't want to be a burden. When Mayushi was sad because of what happened to Granny, Ocarine took Mayushi hostage, remember? That's why Mayushi always thought that whenever Ocarine's sad, she could lend her strength to him, you know? Mayushi might not be useful, though.
Useful. Suddenly I remember. Mayuri is going to die tomorrow. I've been through it once before. She died protecting me, and her last words were,
Finally, Mayushi was useful to Ocarine.
So this is what she meant.
I don't want to see you hurting.
Very well. If that's how she feels, I'll tell her everything. I let go of Mayuri's hand and pat the sofa beside me. Take a seat. Mayuri does as she's told.
Can I get some snacks?
This is serious, remember?
Oh, right.
Mayuri sits up straight with her hands folded in her lap.
Okay, ready.
Everything I'm about to tell you is true. It's related to those dreams you had. I plan to sacrifice one of our friends for your sake.
Ocarine?
Anxiety clouds Mayuri's face, but I ignore it and take her chin in my fingers. A switch has already flipped inside of me. You will soon regret your curiosity, my dear, for the deeds of the great Ho-Win Kyoma are many and terrible. And so I begin, speaking as the mad scientist whose foolish experiments brought everything to ruin. I start with the first raid on the lab. I tell Mayuri how Mooka killed her. Next, I tell her about Suzuha Ferris, about Rukuko, Mooka, FB, and Nai. I describe their fates in every detail. And finally, I tell her about Kurisu. By sacrificing Makise Kurisu, I will embark upon a journey to a glorious new world! There was a lot to explain, and Mayuri kept asking questions, desperate to understand the strange concepts I was throwing at her. Thanks to that, the conversation went longer than expected. It's already getting late. And that is the plan most grand and devious of the insane mad scientist Ho-Win Kyoma. I call it Made in Heaven. Finally, it's over. Mayuri says nothing. She's staring at her hands, which are clenched into tiny trembling fists. She looks ready to cry any second. What's the matter? Mayuri shakes her head and bites her lip.
The whole time you and Christian were hurting, Mayushi was making costumes like nothing was wrong. I feel so stupid. I didn't know anything.
Of course you didn't. That's how I planned it. Are you disappointed in me, Mayuri? Sorry, but this is who I am. I will do anything, sacrifice anyone to accomplish my goals. Whether you like it or not, you're coming with me to the Beta World Line. You're my hostage, and you have no say in the matter. Let chaos descend upon the world! That is the choice of Steins Gate. Mayuri ignores my performance. She gets to her feet and lurches towards the door. I quickly grab her by the wrist. Where are you going?
I need to see Christian. Please, Ocarina, I have to talk to her.
There's no way I can refuse Mayuri's request. I contacted Kurisu. We arranged to meet on the UPX overpass at 4:30 in the morning. I was wondering why she wanted to meet so early, but I understand once I see her. She's dragging a large suitcase.
Thanks for coming to see me off.
She faces us with a smile. Does that suitcase mean what I think it does?
Oh yeah, it does.
You're going back to America. Kurisu nods.
I was supposed to go back at the beginning of the month, but then I ran into a certain mad scientist and ended up staying longer than planned. There's nothing else I can help you with anyway, and I don't want to be a liability.
Is she doing this for me? Or is she trying to outrun her fear? It's not my right to stop her. Even if I did, it wouldn't change anything. Today, as planned, I will crack CERN's database and move to the Beta World Line. I've made my decision. Mayuri is next to me, standing still with her head hung.
What's wrong, Mayuri? Are you feeling sick?
I gently nudge her back. Come on, Mayuri. She takes one step, pauses for a second, then leaps on Kurisu with a cry.
Christian! Whoa, what's going on? Mayushi doesn't want Christian to disappear.
Kurisu hears the desperate plea in Mayuri's voice. She gives me a look that asks, "Did you tell her?" I silently nod.
You can't disappear. Not for Mayushi, okay?
Mayuri.
Mayushi doesn't want to live if Christian has to die.
I expected Mayuri might say that. It's absolutely essential that I remain firm. I feel bad for Kurisu, but it needs to be said. This is the way it has to be. I chose you, Mayuri. You have an obligation to live. Pain stabs through my heart. These words are reprehensible. Kurisu and I made a pact. She agreed to trade her life for yours. If that sacred covenant is broken, the world is doomed. I clench my fists tight to suppress my self-loathing. Don't put Kurisu's feelings to waste, Mayuri.
But... Thank you, Mayuri.
Kurisu wraps her arms around Mayuri's back, returning the hug.
But this was my decision too. I'm okay with it, really. Okabe loves you, you know? What?
Well, what? What are you saying?
It's true, isn't it?
She gives me a mischievous smile.
It would make him really sad if you died. You don't want him to be sad, do you? But if Christian goes away, I'll make Mayushi sad. Yeah, I know. It makes me sad too. But this was going to happen eventually. I had to go back to America sooner or later. So even if you move to another world line, just think of me as being in America. It's practically the same thing. That's not the problem. I don't want Christian to disappear. Let's stop this, okay? Don't make Christian disappear.
Kurisu separates from Mayuri and gazes straight into her face.
You have to listen to us now, Mayuri.
She uses a gentle tone, as if speaking to a child. Then she lightly bumps Mayuri on the head.
Okabe, don't ever let go of her again.
I know.
Well, I'm off. Thank God I'll never have to see your silly face again.
She punctuates her insult with a smile.
She's so cheerful now, a far cry from the shivering girl in the dark. To see her like this breaks my heart. I'm sorry.
I repeat the words in my heart again and again, begging for forgiveness. Kurisu turns to go.
Don't go, Chris-chan! Please don't go! Don't follow me!
She shouts over her shoulder. Mayuri freezes.
I don't want pity. It will only make it worse. This is my decision. Nothing you can say will change my mind. Goodbye. Promise me, Mayuri. Promise me you'll find happiness.
With that, Kurisu walks away. Early morning Akihabara, well before sunrise. The trains are just starting to run. She disappears into the station, dragging her suitcase behind her. Alone. Mayuri falls to her knees, her face streaked with tears. As I approach, I hear her voice.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You have nothing to apologize for. This was my decision and mine alone. Kurisu will disappear, for I chose not to save her. I chose to bring chaos to the world. You can't forgive me, can you, Mayuri? Then hate me. But even then, you're staying with me to the end. I have chosen. To save you, I will let Kurisu die. So hate me, loathe me, curse my name. But I will not turn back. Nobody can stop me now. Mayuri slowly stands up. Then she buries her face into my chest, just like she did to Kurisu.
Ocarine, tell me how you really feel.
How I really feel? Mayuri looks straight up into my eyes.
I want to know what's in your heart, your honest feelings. Maybe she doesn't want to be a burden anymore.
You're not a burden. How could you think that? This is about me, because I want to save you, because I can't bear to lose you.
Yeah. Thank you, Ocarine. Thank you.
Mayuri tries her hardest to smile through her tears. And then once again she buries her face into my chest.
I've been having scary dreams lately. In those dreams you always try to save me. They weren't dreams, were they? You were fighting to save Mayushi, weren't you? Ocarine, you know, Mayushi loves you. Mayushi can smile every day because you're there for me. Can we be together from now on, too?
Of course. I answer Mayuri with my embrace. How can you ask that? I don't want to be apart from you either.
Yeah. Mayushi will find happiness. Just like I promised Chris-chan.
Yeah.
Let's be happy together.
We will.
Never let go of me.
I won't.
Let me love you forever.
Of course. The radiance of the rising sun pours out between the buildings. Daybreak. As the sky grows brighter, we remain in our embrace, as if to reassure each other that we are still here. The time has come. We will now commence the final phase of Operation Verthandi. Mayuri and Daru turn to me and nod. Today is the last day of Komima. Daru wanted to attend, of course, but a little begging convinced him to prioritize the operation. God, Daru's a champ. I take a look around the lab. These 20 days have seen constant change. It's incredible to think that at one point this lab had a whole 8 members. And now we're back to 3. The memories we made, the experiences we shared. To save Mayuri, I will undo them all. There is sorrow in me, and guilt. I engrave them deep inside my heart. I'll never forget, I mustn't forget, these long yet short summer days. But still, I choose to erase our memories. I choose to return everything to normal. Suzuha's mission is irrelevant. I'm not doing this for the future. As long as Mayuri lives, nothing else matters. Daru, you may begin. You sure? Yeah. Okie dokie. Daru starts typing on the IBM 5100. It's already connected to his main computer. This will get us into CERN's central database, where they keep the data they mine with Echelon. There we will locate the first email I sent on July 28th, and erase all trace of its existence. With this, I can reach the Beta World Line. At last, Mayuri will be safe. I look at Mayuri. She's on the couch, sitting straight as a ramrod, with her grandmother's pocket watch pressed to her ear. She stays still, with her eyes closed. Whenever Mayuri wants to calm down, she listens to the sound of that pocket watch. Ever since we parted with Kurisu, Mayuri has said nothing about my choice. I guess she's come to terms with it in her own way. The actual work I've left to Daru, no problem there. While waiting for him to finish, I walk into the development room. In the center of the room is the time leak machine. I squat down and gently brush my fingers against the microwave surface. It's cool to the touch. I've made irreplaceable friends because of this thing, and because of this thing I've hurt them. But I don't want to blame the tool. It's how you use the tool that matters. And I've got to admit, it saved me more than once. But still, once this is over, I'll destroy the time leak machine. We must never make the same mistakes again. Ocarine, I found it. It's really there. The D-mail I sent? It's there? It sure is, man. Daru points to a string of characters. My name is there, followed by the message I wrote about Kurisu's death. 3 lines total, each 12 characters long. This day I led CERN to our doorstep. At FB's instruction, Mulka and the Rounders attacked. If Suzuha is right, then by erasing this data, we will escape from Attractor Field Alpha, where CERN dominates the future. That will take us to Attractor Field Beta. To the Beta World Line within its range of convergence. To a future without Mayuri's death. Mayuri is standing next to me, gazing intently at the monitor. She grasps my hand firmly.
Ocarine!
It's okay. She looks anxious, so I pat her head to calm her down. Everything's set. Unpress the enter key and that data's gone. Daru stands up and gestures to the open seat. I leave that honor to you, Ocarine. I sit down and face the keyboard. This time it ends. Kurisu's face floats through my mind. I close my eyes and take a deep breath. Goodbye, Kurisu. I slowly raise my right hand and extend my index finger. Victory is at hand. Daru twitches at my cry. With unimaginable brilliance and unwavering conviction, I have defeated our vast and powerful enemy, and now stand triumphant on the field of Ragnarok. I give thanks to the comrades whose sacrifice made this victory possible. One press of this key, and Kurisu will die. I firmly grip my coat at the shoulder, where it has been stitched together with jagged pink thread. The coming world is the world I wished for! I wished for Mayuri to live, and Kurisu to die. That is the truth, and I must never forget it. This is the choice of Steins Gate! This is the choice of Okabe Rintaro. El Sai Kongru! Let the world be reborn! I swing down my finger and strike the enter key. After a while, the spinning stops, and color gradually returns to the world. Reading Steiner activated. The world line has changed. I look around the room. Next to me is Daru. Behind me is Mayuri. I reach out to her, and she takes my hand with a smile. Everything is where it should be. It looks like nothing has changed at all. I gently touch my coat's shoulder, where Kurisu fixed a torn seam. It's gone. My coat isn't torn. The stitches, uneven from having been sewn in the dark, have disappeared. There's no trace of that ridiculous pink thread. I stand up and head to the development room. Underneath the table, the time leak machine. No, that's not the time leak machine. That's the phone wave name subject to change. The upgrades Kurisu made are gone. Nothing has changed. This world is exactly the same. In all respects save one. Kurisu was never here. I thought that I was prepared for this. But now that I'm face to face with the cruel consequence of my decision, I feel powerless, defeated. I want to cry.
What's wrong, Ocarine?
Mayuri runs up and grabs my arm. Say, Mayuri,
Yeah?
who was Lab Mem 004 again? I need to ask, even though I know what the answer will be.
004? But Ocarina, there's only 3 lab members, remember? Ocarina, Mayushi, and Daru-kun.
The tears come. I crumple to my knees. I cover my face with my hands. Yeah, right. Our lab doesn't have a 4th member. It never did. Her existence was rejected by the world.
Ocarina, something really sad happened, didn't it?
Mayuri rubs my back.
Mayushi's here for you, Ocarina.
I embrace Mayuri. I stifle my voice and cry.
Ocarina, don't cry.
Please don't leave me, Mayuri. Please, stay by my side forever. Mayuri tenderly strokes my head.
Mayushi will always be with you. Always, just like this.
All trace of Kurisu's existence has vanished. This proves that I have returned to my original world line. This is the world I struggled to reach. The world Suzuha traveled through time to create. A world where the future is free. Nothing has changed, and yet this is my utopia. Oh my God. Jesus. Wow. Okay. Oh my God. So, Jesus Christ. That was a lot of feelings right at the end there. Well, not right at the end there. These past episodes have been kind of gut punches. Really hard. Yeah. I think I might actually just cut that episode ending and start because we're 8 minutes in here. This isn't actually a full episode, but just, oh my Jesus Christ. Okay. But this is still not the end. There is one more ending that is difficult to get to. This is very loud. Can I? Right, I can't fast forward through these. Okay, I will try to focus despite the music going on in my ears. Actually, I'll just turn the volume down for myself. Oh, I'm so smart. But there is one more ending. This ending is a lot more difficult to get to. You can't just get it through following the story normally, unless you are really, really lucky. You have to do specific things. You have to answer certain calls. You have to answer certain texts certain ways. You have to yada, yada, yada. So what I will be doing is I will be doing sort of a supercut of the entire game as I try to make my way to that ending. To the final ending of Steins Gate. And I'll be skipping over most of the game because we've seen most of the game, but anything different I will try to include, and I will definitely be including the actual content that you have to go through that is changed, that is altered. Because there are some differences. Oh wait, there's still something more. Oh my God. The night of the 17th passed. The night of the 18th passed. And Mayuri still didn't die. I've kept a close watch for 3 days since then. There have been no attacks, no accidents, no sign that anything might happen. That was enough to convince me that Mayuri is safe. Together with Daru, I destroyed the phone wave and the IBM 5100. Although we have lost the ability to send D-mails, that is a small price to pay to stay below CERN's radar. Tenoji is downstairs in the brown tube workshop, watching TV on the 42-inch CRT, like always. When I went to check out Radicon, I found it open for business as usual. A search of the internet turned up no mention of a satellite crash. Instead, I found a small article in the local section of a newspaper dated July 28th. It was a report on Kurisu's murder. There was no follow-up. The culprit is still at large. According to Daru, the police questioned me several times. It was I who discovered the body, after all. Of course, I don't remember any of that. At any rate, Mayuri is still alive. I've accomplished what I set out to do. It's over.
Ocarina!
Mayuri emerges from the ticket gate, waving her hand as she runs my way. She weaves through the gaps between shoppers and maids handing out leaflets, and when she gets to me, she looks at me with puppy dog eyes. Why are you crying? Mayuri doesn't answer me. She just strokes my cheek. Gently. Silently. She's crying, but she doesn't seem sad. Rather, she seems overcome with emotion.
Ocarine came to pick me up. You waited for Mayushi. I'm so happy.
Don't get so happy over every little thing. Mayuri wipes away her tears, making room for her shy, innocent smile.
So Mayushi's class changed from hostage to girlfriend, right?
Indeed. I have no idea how to respond to such an embarrassing question. But she's right. Mayuri and I are officially a couple. After these long, painful 20 days, I finally noticed how important Mayuri is to me. Plus, she told me that she loved me.
Thank goodness, it wasn't just a dream.
Let's get going already. I'm gonna die standing in this damn heat. I start walking without waiting for Mayuri's response.
But the lab's hot too, isn't it?
At least we've got a fan, and besides, I'm thirsty. Gotta get my daily dose of Dr. P. It's Sunday. Despite the heat, I see plenty of shoppers laden with bags enjoying themselves on the streets of Akiba. I suddenly feel a void in my heart. Nothing about this town has changed. Yet it feels like something is missing from my life. No doubt it's the gap that was left by Kurisu. But there's no such thing as a perfect future. That is a fantasy that nobody can realize. I mustn't forget. This is the future I wished for, fought for, and won. I have what is most important to me, Mayuri. I should be thankful for that. I am blessed far beyond the common man. I look beside me and realize that Mayuri is not there. I turn around. She's not there either. Mayuri? She's gone. She's always like this. Sometimes she just wanders off. Anxiety seizes my heart. Mayuri promised she would never leave me. This world line is worthless without her. Mayuri! I shout her name at the top of my lungs. I search for her in the crowd, but it's too thick to see. Mayuri!
Over here!
I turn around to see Mayuri running towards me. In her hands is shaved ice.
You said it was hot, remember? I thought it'd be nice to eat something cold.
Don't scare me like that! I feel so relieved. I want to embrace that small body of hers. But we're in public, so I stop myself. I take the shaved ice and hold my empty hand out to Mayuri. Hold my hand.
Okay.
Mayuri takes my hand. Her slender fingers intertwine with mine. Let's save the shaved ice for when we get to the lab. It's too hard to eat while walking.
But won't it melt?
If it melts, it melts.
Oh, well I guess you're right. We can't eat if we're holding hands anyway.
I won't let go. I won't ever let you go.
Maybe she won't let go either.
Mayuri puts just a little more strength into her grip. Love for her fills my heart. Suddenly, Mayuri looks up at Radikan.
Ocarine? Is it possible to dream when you're awake?
When you're awake? You mean a daydream?
Is that what it's called? You're so smart. I don't know who it was, but Mayushi feels like she had a very important friend.
What?
And whenever I think about that important friend, my heart hurts. Like, you know? And sometimes I hear a voice.
A voice?
The voice tells me to find happiness.
Ah. All of that was undone. I erased those memories, sacrificed them.
I wonder if that voice is the reason Mayushi's with Ocarine now.
Perhaps everybody remembers their experiences from other world lines. Those memories may be vague and tenuous, but they're there. They speak to us in the form of dreams, visions, and déjà vu.
If I ever meet that person, I want to tell them thanks.
I'm not the only one who remembers.
I wonder who it was.
It must have been God.
Oh, well thanks God. Mayushi's really happy.
Mayuri looks up. She reaches out to the sky like always. She shakes hands with the stardust, twinkling beyond the coat of blue. I look up too, to hold back the tears. And on we walk, hand in hand. Oh, my God. Well, that turned out a little longer than expected. Oh my god. But, as I said before, we do have one more ending to do. It is not the easiest ending, and I will be cramming together a bunch of random footage to show you that ending. But, we are not quite done yet. So, thank you all so much for following my playthrough of Steins Gate, and I'll see you in the next, probably heartbreaking episode. Bye now.